Okay, I just made it to camp. Should have some pretty good video of driving down into here, and it is hot and humid and absolutely beautiful. And there's that ridge above me, and I just got down here and something's already took off on the other side. Very good chance it's a deer, but anyway, tonight I'm going to do a live in the field show. The time you're watching this, it'll be you'll see the live feed before you'll see this, but this I'm just showing you around a little bit. This is my camp. I come in yesterday and kind of hacked out all the underbrush here, so I got to walk back to my pickup, which is across that creek and out a ways, and get my tent. I'd like to see what that is moving around up there. There are a lot of deer down here, which that could be. Of course, if I was lucky, maybe I'd get a visit from our friendly neighborhood Sasquatch this evening. That would be icing on the cake. But you know, anytime you get out in the woods like this and just have a peaceful camp trip, it is worth it. No, I really enjoy it. So it is. It's about 4:30. I don't have my cell phone with me right now. It has a watch, but it's about 4:30 right now. 8 o'clock tonight's when I'm going to do the live show from camp. And I'll just stay live as long as people want to watch and take part. Walk up here a little ways. I come in here earlier, the weed sling, and hacked all of that underbrush away so I can see what I'm walking on tonight, and I'll light me a fire later. Got a tent. Those of you who've watched my channel for a while know that I generally do not sleep in a tent, and that's generally in the cooler weather. Right now I'm in these bottoms right under these mountains here, and the mosquitoes are already starting to buzz me, so I'm going to set up my little one-man tent, two-man, depending on how many people you're going to cram in it, just for the mosquito netting on it. Now, my friend Cornell up there in Massachusetts, he had that experience March before last where something come down to our camp in the Kiamishi Mountains and approached his tent, and he got quite a charge out of that. And of course, he's been saying if there's a Sasquatch around, maybe they'll be more comfortable approaching the camp if we are in a tent like we were then. So that maybe if I'm sleeping out in the open like I usually do, they don't want to get very close. So I'm going to try the tent thing tonight and see what goes on. I fully expect to hear at least several of the more mundane forest creatures. Last time I was here at night, a really large great horned owl parked itself in a tree right at the edge of the camp and was calling out. And those horned owls, they can do everything from hoot like you think an owl's supposed to going into this almost like an angry chimpanzee sound, which has led some people to think that may be a Sasquatch, but I don't see why a Sasquatch would be expected to sound like a chimpanzee, because they're not a chimpanzee, right? Anyway, but anyway, coyotes, fox, bobcat, There is a mountain lion that's been hanging out here for the last couple of years. It's been sighted many times. Hopefully he doesn't come around, because I don't want anything to do with the mountain lion. There is the occasional black bear, not very often this far west, but they have been pushing further west of the Kiamichi, so they are seen once in a while. So anyway, those are the forest woodland creatures that I expect to at least hear tonight. And deer, I mean, that's inevitable. And like I say, if I'm fortunate, maybe our friendly neighborhood, hope he's friendly anyway, neighborhood Sasquatch will come by. I sure did. I put on the tick repellent, because that's you know, don't want to get bit by, I hate ticks and mosquitoes. And there's a spider just walked through his web. That's his day up. But yeah, here's a good little hole of water over here. I'm wearing high top boots here for any snakes that are of the venomous variety I may inadvertently step on, but it's a pretty good little hole of water. This water is usually pretty clear down here, but we just had some pretty heavy rains, so it's pretty muddy. But I'm showing you guys a little bit around camp before it gets dark, so you'll see the area that I'm camping out. I'm trying to go slow so y'all can get a good idea here, but it's flat here all the way to the creek, and then it's flat. There's a small field on the other side of those trees, and then it's forest again. Goes up a pretty sharp ridge right here up to and that's the east of camp. So this is the flat where I'll be camping, and doing what I generally do on these camps is listen, film, and just see what comes around. Hey, there's a snack right there. Y'all know that these briars are edible. You know, these are pretty good. Pretty good little snack, actually. Good Les, what does a briar taste like? Well, you get the green shoots that's coming off of them that are tender. To me, about like a bean sprout. You know, it'd take a bunch of them to make a meal, but pretty good stuff. Now, when the briars get like this, that's when they're not any fun. Snagging in your clothes and stuff. So, anyway, I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna go back to through the woods to my pickup and get some more of my gear. I think I'm gonna put my tent right here between these trees. I'm gonna string me a rope between these two and hang my LED camp lights on that. And you know, hopefully my son Elijah will make it down later. And if he does, he can kind of help out. He comes when he can. But you know, kids grow up, they get their own life, so you know, I'm real pleased that he's still around and here and likes to join me on these outings. So, all right, I'm gonna turn this off and go get some more stuff. Okay, one thing I hate doing is setting up tents. So I ordered one of these tents that should technically go up by themselves. I haven't opened it yet, so I'm gonna see how this actually works. So if anything else, if it doesn't go well, you guys might get a laugh out of it. So let's see what happens. Voila! How about that? Well, that's just the right size for one person. You see that? Didn't even have to put anything together. Cool. I'm happy. Wow. Now, back to my old joke of calling tents a sack lunch for a predator. Well, I hope I'm wrong about that, because that's going to be my barrier against mosquitoes tonight. So, hey, that's the fastest I've ever set up a tent. So, put it there overlooking the campfire and the creek. And it's got a door in the back as well. I'll just leave all the vents open so it won't be so hot, and go from there. Well, I always, like I said, I hope that thing puts away as easy as it's set up. But there is my tent for the night. Fastest I ever set up a tent. All right, well, I've got my camp all set up and ready now. Have not started a fire yet because it's still hot. It's supposed to get down to like 70 tonight or upper 60s, so I'll start a campfire then for the mosquitoes. Got my LED camp lights set up there above my tent. Mosquito repellent, very important. I have other cameras. I'm recording this on my GoPro. I've got another camera with a more powerful mic on it. I'll probably set up later tonight. And this, well, doing this one-handed is kind of a trick. So, got this parabolic microphone here. Let me just set this down like so. So, got this parabolic microphone that I've been toying around with a little bit today, and even with the wind going, this thing will pick up way into the woods, and it has a record feature on it. So if I get to hearing something really interesting tonight, I'm going to hit the record on that thing. And that interesting story on this microphone. This was donated to me by a YouTube channel, Livewire, which is Mark Copeland, and he took one of these inexpensive Amazon. Let me just set it down right here so I can explain this. One of these inexpensive Amazon parabolic microphone with a tiny dish, and then he went and bought a squirrel baffle, which is what you put around like your bird feeder pole to keep the squirrels from climbing over it and eating all your bird feed. And he glued that to that parabolic microphone in place of that tiny dish that it came with, and it probably tripled the power of that thing. And Mark gave me that year before last, and I appreciate that, Mark. It's been a very valuable tool. So got all these things. I got another camera in the in my truck I'm going to go get. It's one of the inexpensive Amazon video cameras, but it has night vision on it, which could come in handy. The only bad thing about night vision is when you're in thick woods like this, it tends to reflect off of the foliage that's closest to you and doesn't really penetrate further in. And on the lesser expensive night vision, like I've got anyway, I honestly have better luck with just a really powerful light with the video camera and seeing in there. So we'll just kind of play it by ear this evening. Okay, sun is probably about 5:30 right now. Here at 8 o'clock, it'll be getting pretty dark down here in this valley, and that's when I'm going to have a a live in the field show, and that's May 29. This is May 29th. That's when I'll film that. Of course, you'll be seeing that before you see what I'm recording right now. But anyhow, this is where I'm at, and that is the ridge, and it goes up pretty far. I've not gone all the way to the top of it. Yesterday I come down and cutting a lot of this brush out of the camp to make it where I wouldn't have to do all that today in the heat, make it more presentable, and turn around and give you a view of my camp. So that's, if you are, I'm going to do this. So if you are a Sasquatch, or anything else for that matter, coming down this ridge right here toward camp, this is what you would see. You'd be walking, and that's my camp. That's my little tent, which I jokingly call a sack lunch for a predator. Hopefully I'm wrong and that remains a joke. And as you can see around me, it's very, very thick. Last time I camped down here was I can't remember, it was either late February or early March. I can't remember, but all of this undergrowth here was not green then. It was not grown up like this. So as you can see right now, when it gets dark, it is truly going to be dark down here. So there you have it, walking back into camp. Got my GoPro ready. I've got a Canon video camera as well. Got a parabolic microphone. Got a camera with night vision if I so choose to use it. So what I plan to do tonight, what I always do on these solo camps, is sit by the fire and just listen and pay attention and see if anything interesting happens. So that's that. Hopefully it does. If it does not, then it's still a very fun camping trip. It was really hot earlier. It's starting to kind of cool off now. At least there was a breeze. Of course, the breeze doesn't really get inside these woods so much. Let's see, look at there. I don't know what you call that. They're on these trees. But yeah, anything that approaches from the east has a whole lot of woods and has to come down through all that. So I don't care how stealthy you are. I believe I'll hear anything coming there. Now from the other side, a little trickier, because on the other side of that brush there is a small field that's surrounded by trees. Something could approach from the field very quietly, at least until they get into the brush across the creek. So there you have it. Got my lights, got my snack food. This is Sunday. We had a big Sunday lunch, so I'm still recording. Yeah. So I'm not hungry even. We had brisket, mashed potatoes, vegetables, all kinds of stuff. So, and then strawberry pie for lunch. And I'm still not hungry, and I probably won't eat supper tonight. So I'll just build a fire here in a little bit and sit by it and pay attention to the woods around me, and maybe just snack here and there as time goes. So I'm going to turn this off for a while and check back in as it gets closer to dark. Back at camp, it's just about 8 o'clock. We're about ready to start the live show, and my son Elijah, he made it down here. Elijah. He's like me, that he has very bad seasonal allergies, and he didn't think he was going to make it, but he took some allergy medicine and came on down. So we're getting the fire going to keep the mosquitoes away, and getting ready to do our live show down here in just a few minutes. So yeah, it's cooled off a lot. It was really hot earlier when I got down here, but we got the tent set up, LED lights, and all of that. So here later, after we do the live show, we're gonna get the video camera with some night vision and kind of go for a night hike and see what's out moving around. So with any luck, friendly neighborhood Sasquatch may pay us a visit. Still no luck of convincing my wife or Elijah's fiance to come along and be Bigfoot bait for us. No luck there. But anyway, so I'm gonna turn this off, and we're gonna do our live show, and then we'll come back on later. Okay, well, we just finished doing our live feed from here in camp, and just want to say thanks to everyone who took part in it. Had a good visit with everybody, and we just made some hot dogs and had a late supper. I just found out that my friend Cornell, who has the No Such Thing podcast, he and I had inadvertently scheduled our live shows at the same time. So when I got a text from him saying, "Hey, I'm going too." So as soon as me and Elijah finished our live feed here, we went on there and chatted a little bit on his show. Of course, my phone went dead, so I wasn't able to stay there for very long. But anyway, it's been a good night so far. It's not too hot. Mosquitoes aren't bad. I just ate some hot dogs. Elijah's having another. Hey, Elijah.
Hello.
Hope you can see him. We're having a good night. If you watch the live show, you'll see that right when we got started, I was talking about animals that we might see here, as far as the more, just mundane animals, and Elijah spied the baby copperhead right here in camp. So I kind of directed it out of camp. I didn't kill it, I just shoot it away. And yeah, you don't want to get bit by one of those, but he hadn't come back. So anyway, so we're just gonna sit, camp, enjoy the night, and listen, and maybe our friendly neighborhood Sasquatch may pay us a visit. That would be nice. But anyway, we'll check in later. Hope y'all are having a good night too. Yeah, this is camp. So I just got one of those little instant pop-up tents, and that sure cuts down on the time of putting things together. Got my camp LED lights there, really light things up. So anyway, I'm gonna get me something else to eat here. All right, so we've been hearing something around our camp, walking, and there's the culprit. Armadillo. Big armadillo. Get that on there. So that's the culprit, what we've been hearing walk around our camp. And away he goes. That's a big armadillo. So far tonight, that's what we've heard. There was an owl early, whippoorwills. Hadn't heard but the one owl, and he was just quick. But Anyway, there's our camp. The lodge is sitting by the fire. I don't think that was an armadillo there. Yeah, that's a steep ridge outside of camp there. And definitely watch her step. Yeah, I need to get me a thermal, like a flare, bring out here and I can see better what's in the woods around me with that heat signature. So that's the next thing on my agenda, is to get one of those. But good ones ain't cheap, so we'll just have to wait and see. That fire would be cozy if it's wintertime, would it?
Yeah.
Well, it is 5:45 a.m. and we just got up. Nothing come into camp last night except for mosquitoes and such. Did you sleep good, Elijah?
Yeah, slept pretty good. Weather was nice.
Yeah, it was nice. It cooled off pretty good after dark. Didn't get a visit from any Sasquatch or anything though. Matter of fact, we didn't even have a raccoon or a possum or anything come into camp. Matter of fact, other than the whippoorwills, we didn't even hear any owl close by. We heard some owl very much in the distance. If we turned on the parabolic microphone, we could hear them in the distance. But anyway, any camp trip's a good camp trip, huh, Elijah?
Yeah, anywhere out of
So we had a good time. We cooked out last night, had hot dogs over the fire and all that stuff. The mosquitoes were not bad, so it was all right. And the copperhead didn't come back into camp, so that was good.
that one I'm extra thankful for.
Yeah. Really, the only animal that come into camp or close to it besides the copperhead was that big armadillo.
Yeah.
And he ran off when I think I got him on camera last night. But anyhow, it's we're gonna break camp and head out. Just thought I would film a little bit of the morning. The birds are really calling. So it's a peaceful morning, it's a cool morning, the mosquitoes aren't biting. So that's always a plus. Decided to keep the camera out. As soon as I put it up, something would come out.